Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another Honkai Star Rail reaction. Today we have Sparxie's character trailer, this time Ravings. I was told to watch the actual trailer with this one. I'm going to. I usually do have trouble getting distracted by animation, and given just the thumbnail, I'm concerned that's going to happen. So I apologize if I miss things in this song. I'll listen to it a few times after, as I usually do, just to work things out in song if there's anything that like really makes me want to talk about it, but I guess I won't know if I don't get started. So without further ado, let's go! Okay. That's not what I was expecting. Okay, that was just a opening gag then. God, okay, people were right. There's a lot going on. Very overstimulating. Ooh. 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 Oh, that like drop there. This is very unhinged. What the hell is that? MLG Pro. The constant change of animation styles is what's probably the most fun thing to me, aside from just the general insanity. But I love that quality. It's just insane. Look, shut the fuck up. Okay. This is just goofy as all hell. It actually reminds me a lot of... Oh, okay. Anyway, it reminds me a lot actually of Bernice's song from Zenless like a few years ago. Except while they share a similar amount of brain rot, I feel like this one is just a little bit more fun to me in some ways. Like I don't know, the Bernice one just did not hit me the same way. I thought it was just kind of obnoxious and frankly kind of mid. This one is like that in every way, but also better. Okay, so obviously I could hear the monodrama in this one. This is just another remix of it, I suppose, and that makes sense. I'm not also entirely positive about these characters, because now I've seen monodrama, I've heard the other theme, and now I've heard this one, and the visual context from all of them is making me go, okay, well, they're obviously connected, but the names are so closely connected as well. I feel like they might be like a two sides of the same coin kind of situation. Like one is like very terrifyingly like freaky, sort of like unhinged in like the scary way. And then there's this one, which is the rest of it. It's the unhinged level of like stupid, you know, like it is insanity compared to the other one that's more of like a calculated and like cold relation to it. This is the everything else that's left over, and it feels like there's just that relationship with the two. And given how, again, close their names are, I'm assuming that they're technically like the same being or entity, but like not, so that's where I'm getting that idea. I'm not positive, but I'm pretty secure in assuming as much given what this song was showing me, especially just visually. It was pretty obvious, and it seems like they just don't get along for whatever reason and are like constantly at odds and like fighting each other, which would make sense for the whole light and dark aspect. But at the same time, I don't think that this crazy bitch is necessarily the light side either, you know? They're both crazy, just in their own unique ways. And of course, like I was saying, this is definitely monodrama again, but we get a little bit of a different energy on this one, because for this we get a progression that kind of breaks the music theory rules in a few ways, but mainly C minor to F minor to G, I think is like the core of what this song has. that progression. And the reason G doesn't necessarily fit here is because that's not what would work in what I assume to be the key for this, which I think would be C minor, given we start there. It's kind of our low and our tonic, so that's where we should be. But G doesn't really fit there. It would be G minor in that key. So it's like, why the G? I think that's purely to manipulate the energy into this lift that feels a little bit off compared to the other two. Because if we just go up what it's expecting out of that key, you hear that difference when we get up to the top. It still leaves you kind of on a similar energy, but there's something about resolving to that G major instead of the G minor that makes it feel like it's shifting the idea halfway through the thought. And because of this song being how electronic it is and being very dancey, that's kind of a DNA factor of a lot of EDM, is that they don't utilize many different chords or anything. They tend to stick between maybe 2 to 3 in a lot of cases and just bounce between those. And that's why, like, most of this song is just these two at large, but when we need to resolve, we resolve up, and we need that to go somewhere that adds more tension to loop back around. So as far as that relationship goes, it just feels right. There might even be some weird ones in here, like maybe a D flat might be in here. That would be a weird one. But it would kind of have a similar effect to having that G in there. It's just this space that needs to be filled with something. But like, why, you know, like, why would that be in there? But that's another one that doesn't really work inside the key. This would be D diminished to be working within the key. And that's a weird one. Like, you can hear how that doesn't really feel good in the song. So maybe that's why they did this. But at the same time, there are just so many things going on in this song that this sort of bounce is kind of hard to just precisely adjust for and figure out why they're doing certain things. Because if it was that diminished, it's like, that's pretty crunchy against everything else in here, but at the same time it has that dark energy that would fit in C minor. That's kind of a core factor of that key. So this song doesn't necessarily want to do that, and I think that's why they included these potential weird ones and made this energy shift halfway through and kind of just keeps you around this mental space of anything can happen at any point. These are the things where it's like, music theory is here for a reason. You're allowed to break these rules and mess with stuff in order to get a certain emotion across or an idea, but it's also kind of above me why certain choices are made, to the point where this literally could have just been somebody making something that sounded cool. And that is the rule of cool. You don't have to have a like strict law written purpose for doing really anything, as long as you can make it feel good. And that's what happened here. You can make this song feel good. It felt good. It was really fun. Like I mentioned, the song has a similar like listenability as the Bernice one, but at the same time, this one feels just more polished to me. This doesn't feel like somebody wrote it in an afternoon, and I'm sorry that like Zenless is catching strays here. I thought the Bernice song was mid as hell, and it just wasn't doing anything but trying too hard to be mid and like trying to be brain rot, and I know that's kind of the part of her character, but I think this song does it well by tuning into that chaos much better, whereas Bernice was just kind of doing something, whatever the fuck. It was like it was trying to be the next TikTok dance sensation, and this one didn't have that feeling. It felt like it was reflecting the character much better instead of trying to be something else. So I think that this song earns more respect from me just based off that entirely, and I think this in general is a better composition than that one. I think this had more fun with its options. It made some weird choices, like including the potential of that weird relationship of the G and the F minor. It's just an interesting song compared to Bernice, which was to me a lot more flatbed, bare bones. It doesn't really feel like it was truly trying to do something. And in a lot of ways, as a result of that, this one just comes out sounding more competent. And again, sorry that that's catching strays. It's not like I don't love Zenless's music. It was just the one that I don't really care for. That's basically the only one, and I don't even think that that was Sanzi that made that one. It didn't feel like them at very least, so I don't blame them at all. Their music is still phenomenal. That's like the only song I can think of that I was just kind of not happy with. But this one has more gusto to it. It feels like it's trying to be more artistic and have fun with this soundscape, and they did that, and I like it, and it feels so much better as a result. But I think I'm done yapping about it, so thank you all so very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you want me to get to something else from Honkai, by all means, drop in the comments below, and I will do my best as always to get to those. But if you don't want to do any of that, maybe just want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that, and I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!